So this is a bit of an unusual video today, and I just want to talk about the lightning bow artifact. So I've actually done some testing on it on the PTR myself, and it's worse than the syncretic bow. I'm going to chuck some clips up now. They buffed it. Bow with 'It's not going to be better or the same. Okay, so this is artifact. Five. Syncretic bow is better. Syncretic bow is better. The syncretic bow is literally better. Now, I know what you're thinking is that this is with 5 elemental aversion, and what if it's what if they just run a thrust bow? Then you're gonna get, that makes sense. You're gonna die quicker. You're right, but with the syncretic bow, I'm still splitting my damage, so 50% of it is still elemental. If someone does do full thrust protection or runs physical aversion, they're still only cutting a quarter of my total damage or half of my thrust side. If I'm using the lightning bow and someone does elemental resistance, they're cutting that total amount away from my damage. I'm not just losing a quarter of my damage. Because I have no rune glass, because I'm not splitting my damage, I'm losing total damage. I'm not losing a percentage. When the thing is, splitting damage is good. I just want to add that in. Splitting damage is good. You want to split your damage, and that's why this bow is terrible. Alright, so you're... Okay, you're trying something. Okay. And that's syncretic bow. You do less damage. And you can't run things like the finisher. You can't run things like the Void Gauntlet, which also boosts your damage massively. The things you're missing out on running this bow: Rune Glass, Attunement. If you're running finisher, you're losing 15% damage. No gem slot. Worse perks. Now, don't get me wrong, Arrowlee is a great player, but this video is completely out of context. The bow artifact is not good, and I'll stand by that. In these clips, Arrowlee is running 460 dex, 150 in. He's a glass cannon. He's literally a one-shot to the musket. The musket actually got a slight damage buff this patch because of how the gems have been reworked. But I am going to say that the syncretic bow is almost twice as good as the lightning bow. It is unfortunate. I was really looking forward to the lightning bow. I still think it is a good bow. But everyone's going to be running opals in their armor, and they should already be running opals in their armor with this meta. The thing that's also good about the syncretic bow is you're splitting damage. Splitting damage is good. I don't know why everyone was wanting a full elemental bow. Splitting your damage is good. It means that they're only going to ruffle. Let's say they're running full thrust protection. They're only ever going to be able to knock off a quarter of your damage. 50% thrust protection is 50% of your thrust side. That is a quarter of your total damage with a split gem. A 50-50 rune glass. So if someone is running the lightning bow and they have full opals, that's 17.5% elemental resistance compared to a quarter. Now that is actually still less than a quarter because there's opals. Now let's add elemental aversion into the case. 5 pieces of elemental aversion. Now we're starting to stack that, and we're starting to mitigate more and more of that total damage. Meanwhile, if you're splitting your damage, there's only a certain amount that people can actually block off. If you see where I'm getting at, is that splitting damage is good, and all going into one spec is actually very bad. The lightning bow is niche, it's cool, it will have its uses, it will not be used from a competitive standpoint at all. You'll be using Syncretic Bow with Finisher's Harmony, or Void Gauntlet. It is way too good to give up. I'll test the explosive at AoE stun after. That's not that much. With 40% lightning resistance? Light armor, 100 con, that's not that bad. I'm really tanky.